Oh yeah, man. Street dances all over the world. Yeah, yeah. You know what you gotta do. Word. Yeah. Yeah, let's go. Come on. Oh yeah. The turntable spins using new ability, agility that wins. And then your crew got burned. To be the master of the craft, you gotta practice to learn, kid. The street dancer breaks with 1990s and the 80s paved the way for the days. B-boys emulating the greats like 40 Freeze, crazy legs, dynamic breakers with shake. Let's dance to the beat of the drummer that's funky. Way before the Beatles was bugging up Brass Monkey. Hip hop, new cruises, Foxy, Angelica. In the boxy DJing was Africa Bambaataa. Brought back to the Bronx, who hurt the innovator. DJing sound systems, toasting in Jamaica. Got boasting, the host with the most, the money maker. Now I'm moving bricks, but I started out as a breaker. The turntable spins, brothers cautious, listening to Bob James Dauntless, and of course James Brown, funky drummer, the sound in the summer, before you saw the hustler in the Hummer. Yeah, and a few years later Melly Mel changed up his gear, switched the game up. The gangs of New York ceased banging for beat. Once the whole 5 girls break dancing up in the street. Yeah, the turntable spins, the DJ and MC coincide like twins. The crowd grins cause they know what they came to hear. It's important what you wear, uniform in the fresh gear. Hip hop was visible and heard by many. A backdrop or a mural in the park with graffiti. Dancers, rappers, original, not phony men. Windbreaker jackets, knee pads on linoleum.
Dance, make it move, keep it poppin', keep it locked and down. Dance, first position when they move, DJ spin it round. Dance, it's your time to shine, all the eyes on you. See dance all over the world.
Hey, yo, you catch a wreck on the floor. Hey, yo, you catch a wreck on the floor. Hey, yo, you catch a wreck on the floor. Hey, yo, you catch a wreck on the floor. Hey, yo, you catch a wreck on the floor. Hey, yo, you catch a wreck on the floor. Hey, yo, you catch a wreck on the floor. Hey, yo, you catch a wreck on the floor.
Make it move, keep it poppin', keep it locked and down. Dance, first position when they move, DJ spin it round. Dance, it's your time to shine, all the eyes on you. See dance all over the world.
Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to JobsReady.com's Marketing Me Live goes to Makati and Taguig. So this is the first time we are doing this. Today we will be joined by 6 companies to talk about their vacancies, employment opportunities in the city of Makati and Taguig. So this is in coordination with the University of Makati, PUP Taguig, Global City Innovative College, Technological University of the Philippines, TESDA Women's Center, CEU Makati with the objective of preparing our students and graduates in their employment needs amidst the challenging times of the new normal. So today we will be joined by speakers from Optum, ISSICO, Factset, Makati Medical Center, John Clements, and Inspiro. So before we start, may we invite everybody for a short prayer.
Praise God from whom all blessings flow. Praise Him, all creatures here
Okay, so welcome guys. So ready na ba kayo? By the way, I'm Shari from Academic Linkages. Hope that everybody is excited to learn new things today. I will be today's host. So as usual, please comment your name and school and type in your questions so we can answer them after the talk. And don't forget to share this video. Okay, so before we start, may we please ask Dr. Marisa Ferrer of PUP Taguig to give us the opening remarks.
A pleasant day to everyone. After a challenging 4 or 5 years of your life in college, now I want to congratulate you for a job well done. But at the same time, welcome to the world of unemployed, especially to some who did not find a job yet, while to others who fortunate enough to be absorbed by a company, welcome also to the jungle of corporate world. Once again, you are there facing another crossroad of your life. For sure, newly graduates like you may find yourself in a state of dilemma before making an important step or major decision in your career. Today is your stepping stone for success. In order to let your profession move in the right direction, you must know the path you need to follow. Being ready and having everything will make your life simpler. Our experts will help you to achieve a clear picture of your goal and what obstacles you will face on this new journey of your life. And lastly, an important ingredient to your roadway to success, always remember that in everything you do, put God first in your life, and He will crown your efforts with success. So, prepare to be inspired, motivated, and equipped. God bless us all.
Thank you for that, Dr. Ferrer. So we are excited to start our activities this afternoon. So are you guys ready? So here is our schedule for today. So first topic we are doing after graduation checklist. Second topic we are going to discuss skills that employers look for. Third topic is work opportunities in Makati and Taguig. So this will be a panel with four companies joining us in. And for our first topic, Ms. Reese from Optum will teach you all of the things you need to prepare for after your graduation. So hello sa mga fresh grad na nanonood kung nasa gitna ka ng job search mo at or hindi ka pa nagsisimula. So makinig ka ng maayos sa first topic. Wait. So next, of course, we invited someone from ISSICO to discuss skills that employers look for. So we asked someone who have been in the industry for a long time, ano ba yung mga hinahanap nila sa hinahire nila to be part of their team? So, totoo, chismis mamaya, we will find out kung ano yung mga skills na ina-expect nilang alam natin. So, lastly, ito yung first time natin gagawin. So, nag-invite kami ng 4 panelists sa segment natin later. Ang tanong naman ay kung ano at paano tayo magiging part ng industry nila. So, meron tayong BPO, KPO, mamaya malaman natin yung difference, recruitment firm, at hospitals. So, kung tayo ba yung hinahanap nilang new hire? Ayan. So shout out to everybody who is here na. Again, please comment your name and school, and as we go along, type in your questions. Babasahin natin mamaya. So let's go to our first speaker. So our first speaker is Miss Christine Pasia of Optum. So she is a college graduate from De La Salle University, Manila, where she finished her course of International Studies, majoring in European Studies. She then started her first job in Citigroup Business Process Solutions back in 2010 as an outsourcing associate. So today, she is currently employed for more than 7 years with Optum Global Solutions as a recruitment manager who handles specifically the campus and graduates program. Ayan. So, Miss Reese, andyan ka na po ba sa stream? Yan. Hi, ma'am. Welcome back.
Hello, everyone.
Good
Hello.
afternoon
Nice
po.
to
Nice
have
to have you
nice to
back,
be here
ma'am.
again.
All right,
Yes.
ma'am, you know the drill. I'll be back in 20 minutes to facilitate the Q&A po. The floor is
Sure.
yours
Thank
now.
you so much,
All right, let's
Shari.
start the
All right.
screen share now.
Yes. Please do let me know if you see my screen.
One more, ma'am. Yan, it's loading na po. All right. So I
Is
leave
it
it to
good?
it, ma'am. All right.
Yes.
Okay na
Thank
po.
you so much, Shari.
Okay.
All right.
See you later.
Thank you so much. See you. Okay, so good afternoon, everyone. Again, my name is Christine Pasha. I'm part of Optum Global Solutions Philippines. It is a healthcare company here in the Philippines. And today I'll be discussing our topic, which is the graduation checklist. So before we start, I'd like to really casually introduce myself so you get to know me a little bit more throughout this session. So again, my name is Christine Pasha. I'm known to be a very positive person, so I've coined the term and my little own hashtag, which is hashtag positive Pasha. It's always good to look at the positive things in life. And when I get stressed, I always like pause and also just pray and think that everything will be okay. I'm also part of a family of five. I'm the middle child of two sisters, and my youngest sister has Down syndrome. And I'm proud to share that my parents are actually one of the founders of the Down Syndrome Association of the Philippines. So they are very then active into really helping and educating people of what Down syndrome really is. I'm also married to my husband, which is Anjo T, and he's been my boyfriend for
Yes,
10 years already.
pa-full
Yes.
screen lang po ako. Pa-full screen lang po ako, ma'am. Hindi naka-full screen.
Oh, is it not?
Kaya hindi po ako makaalis sa screen.
I'm so sorry. It was full screen already in mine. Let me try again.
Sorry for that, guys. Ano mo,
It's
technical
okay.
difficulty.
Is it on full screen now?
Naka-slide view pa rin siya, ma'am.
I'm not sure why, but in my screen it's on full view. Let's try again. Is it showing the full screen?
Not yet, ma'am.
I wonder why. I'm so sorry for this. Maybe this one's better. Full screen?
Okay na po.
Yay! Okay,
Alright.
perfect then.
Sige po,
Thank you so
I'll leave
much
the
for letting
screen,
me know,
ma'am.
Sherry. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So again, this is my husband, Anjo T, and we've been together for 10 years already. So yes, I truly also believe that there is a forever. And I do really love enjoy playing basketball. Surprising, first maybe a surprise for all of you, but I've been playing basketball since I was in grade 4, and I still do that in my spare time. And lastly, I really do enjoy musical theater. So I also like being part of plays and really listening to Broadways. This really helps me calm myself, especially during these times. And it really makes me happy. So that's really just a few things about me. But I also wanted to introduce to you my organization that I work for, which is Optum Global Solutions. And I've been with the organization for almost 8 years already, and I'm very proud to be part of this part of Optum Global Solutions. So just a few facts about our organization. We are a Fortune 7 company serving virtually every dimension of the healthcare system. So may it be from healthcare insurance to automating the healthcare systems and also automating the healthcare sector at that. We really touch upon those different aspects, and we're approximately about almost 200,000 employees worldwide, and over, I believe, 19,000 employees already in the Philippines for this year. So we're just a growing organization, and we're very excited to have more people be part of our growth. And we serve about 124 million individual consumers. And again, we really are a very much diverse set of. We really have a diverse set of clients across 150 countries. And if I could, let's say, compare it to an organization that's similar to ours, at least locally, maybe you could compare us to like PhilHealth or MaxiCare and IntelliCare, but definitely we're in a much bigger platform and a much global platform, which really helps people around the world. Now, we are also very much true to our mission and values. We make sure every employee of the organization is really part of our mission and values, which is to help people live healthier lives and to make the healthcare system work for everyone. We make sure that each employee really follows our mission and values in the day to day work that they do. And these values are actually very good because it really helps us complete our tasks and really helps us perform even better. As you can see, performance is the last value that we have, but really to touch upon it, it's integrity, compassion, relationships, innovation, and performance. And these values really go hand in hand because we start off with integrity and honor our commitments and never compromise our ethics. And with that, we are able to be very much compassionate and walk in the shoes of people that we serve. So with integrity and compassion, we're there to build relationships now with each other and ready to engage and build trust through collaboration. And with that trust and collaboration, we're able to innovate and make things even better and really invent the future and learn from our past. And with those four, we're able to perform very well. So with these values, we are able to really complete our tasks and perform very well to our day-to-day work. Each and every employee in our organization, and also with our culture and unite and on Optum Global Solutions, we're able to really engage with different activities. As you can see from the pictures below, we're able to really celebrate Women's Month and also Pride Month. This was all pictures, of course, from last year, and even Sinulog in our Cebu site. Now, speaking also of our different sites, we have four locations here in the Philippines. Our first site would be in Taguig, which is in Science Hub, and we do have two buildings there. This would be the location beside the Venice Piazza Mall, if you're familiar with that. So we have two buildings rather in our Taguig site. Our second site would be in Cebu, which is an IT park. And we also have two buildings there, followed by our third site, which is in Quezon City and North Gate and UP Ayala Techno Hub. Sorry, UP Ayala Techno Hub would be in our Quezon City site. And our last and newest site would be in Alabang, which is the one in Vector 3 North Gate, Cyber Zone Philinvest City in Alabang. So we have approximately, I think, three buildings there, and we're really planning to grow even bigger in the Philippines and be located in the other parts of the country. For our career areas, since we are a global organization, we touch upon different opportunities that we can share with here in the Philippines. We have under technology, which mainly would comprise of analytics, automation, information securities, and data science positions. These positions are the ones who are the ones that are focused into really innovating the healthcare systems and making it even work better for everyone. We also do have customer service roles, which we call our healthcare advocates, and it's different from the other unusual customer service roles because we handle medium to high complex customer support roles, and because of that, we don't just do order taking or let's say booking a flight or um, other of the typical things like basic troubleshooting. What we do is really handle people's healthcare insurances. We make sure that they are on time for their doctor's appointments, and we make sure that they're really living their healthiest part of their lives because we want, of course, they're our customers and we want to take care of them. We also, of course, have for our clinical area, our hiring area, where we usually hire the registered nurses, USRNs, and medical coders here. We also have roles actually for our pharmacy roles, and because we have also a department that handles pharmacy benefits. And lastly, we do, of course, have our leadership roles under shared services. Now, I also just wanted to touch upon what we have been doing as our COVID response, especially for this year. It has been very different for everyone. Quite a big surprise, really, when COVID came to the Philippines. A lot of people were shocked, surprised, they didn't know what to do. But what our senior leaders and our business leaders really did was think of a plan really quickly and made sure that we would be able to continue our work. So currently, we are employing and paying full wages to our entire workforce since March, and we made sure that we had the best business continuity plan and clinical safety protocols for everyone. So we made sure that our employees were working from home. So about 90% of our non-clinical workforce was working from home while maintaining our all service levels. All service levels. So we are able to truly complete our tasks and also be safe while we're still doing our work. And we also continued to hire candidates at this time, especially for the talent acquisition team. We shifted to a virtual hiring process to protect our candidates and employees, of course, because that is our number one priority. And even if we were thinking of all these things, of really protecting the employees, we still wanted to live through our mission and values. So we were able to donate to the different countries around the world. And in the Philippines, we were able to partner with Caritas Manila and donated with them quite a sum of money so that we are able to really reach out to our brothers and sisters here in the Philippines. And it's really quite amazing, quite an amazing experience what the employees of Optum went through. Um, Even though we were very much nervous and quite scared about what would happen, we really trusted our company to really take care of us. And they really did make sure that we were well taken care of. For example, they even brought our devices or tools and assets to our own homes. So these are business leaders in their own private cars, bringing all our laptops and desktops to our own homes. And that really shows how much we live through our mission and values as an employee of Optum. So that's about it, really, about our organization. I hope you learned a lot about what we are and who we are, rather, here in the Philippines. And if you'd like to know more about our organization, you can always visit our company website, which is workatatoptum.com. Now, to really touch upon our topic for today, this would be the graduate's checklist and how to really prepare for the workforce, right? So most of us, I believe, were able to graduate already for this year or are about to graduate. So usually when you graduate, you're very excited. You are like, finally, tapos na. I'm going to already not look at I'm done with my thesis. I'm already going to start working and earn my own money. So you get very excited. But then sometimes you also think about it and you're like, where do I start? What am I going to do next, right? So there's always that question and kind of that fear of also going into the next chapter of your lives, which is the workforce. So there's a lot of uncertainty there, but I hope that my tips would really help you go through your workforce journey. So let's start off, of course, when you want to look for a job, you want to start creating your resume because your resume would really be kind of your identity when you're applying for a job. Again, it's originally a French word, which is a summary. And in the 1940s, the word evolved to mean a biographical summary of a person's career. So again, it's a quick summary of yourself and also what you have gone throughout your career and also with your experience in school. So in a way, it really is important to compose a very good resume. And I'm here to really give you the steps on how to do that. So you want to start off by really analyzing and understanding what are your hard skills versus your essential skills. And just to really define what these are, hard skills, of course, are usually utilized as the intelligence quotient. So these are the rules of hard skills, which is can be found, or how you are able to know your hard skill is it can be learned in school or in trainings. So what you've learned in your different classes and also certain trainings similar to this one, these are your hard skills where you're learning this from your professors and also from your teachers in school. You also may learn this from speakers that your school invites to do different topics, of course, when you have your career week. And then for your essential skills, this is usually developed through constant exposure. So this is maybe, your traditions in your household or how your school's culture is, how you are being raised as a student in your own school. What are your school's mission and visions? Those are usually the essential skills that you pick up when you are exposed to these certain things around your environment. So again, this could be picked up in your school or in your personal home. So you have to again marry the hard skills and essential skills so that you can really compose your resume well. Now, it's also very much important that you review your trainings, your internships, and other related work experiences. Let's say you are a working student, then you can also include that in your resume. It's very important that you're able to really include your work experience in your resume if you have already working experience, because these will show that you already have been exposed to the workforce, and or you have already a quick glimpse of what you could be expecting in the workforce, and the employer would look at that and understand your experience. So it's good that you put in your trainings and internship and also your work experience in your resume. It's also very much important, of course, to get yourself a proper email addresses. You want people or your employers to take you seriously. So none of these email addresses where you are very much creative and you put like quarantina 2020 at yahoo.com or social distancing at gmail.com with a different symbols and everything. So you don't want to put that. You want the employers to take you seriously. So it's very good just to have a simple email address using your name and your full name. So like this, like my example over here, it's christine.t@gmail.com. So I just separated my first and last name with a period. You can also do that. But if you really have let's say a common name, like let's say Anna Reyes, you can always add a number or even another symbol to divide the name or to make it more unique. But best to really keep it professional, especially in composing your email address, because that's also one of the first things that the employer will see when you send out your resumes. They will not take you seriously again if you have a very funny email address. So keep it professional and just use your full name. Now, also what's important is to remember the body of the resume, which is your personal details, work experience, and education. Those are really the only things that you need to include in your resume. And that's the most important part of the resume. For personal details, so that we are able to reach you. For work experience, so we understand what you have what you have experienced and what you went through already in your internship or when you were working. And lastly, your educational background. So at least we know if you are already a college graduate or if you're still completing your education. Now, it's very important to also not give away too much information, especially in the personal details part. What we want to know really is mainly how we are able to reach you. What's your name, your address, your telephone number, could be your landline or your cell phone number, and especially your email address. So those are really the most important details that we would need so you're able to reach you so we can schedule with you an interview. All these other things, date of birth, parents, zodiac sign, and etc., we don't need it in your resume. Again, we just want to be able to reach out to you so we are able to contact you for your interview. So again, all these things, we don't need it. You don't have to put it in your resume. Again, it's just a way for us to really want to reach you so that we can schedule an interview with you. Now, also, a selfie is always fun to do. I mean, for sure, when in our spare times, we take our selfies and everything. But again, there's no room for it in your resume. What you want to do is really invest in a professional photo. So you can go to, let's say, a studio. But right now, of course, just to be safe, it's best to take it at home. So because of the power of technology, we are able to do our own 2 by 2 pictures and, just edit it and crop it and put it in a resume immediately. So you can just pick a white wall and then, of course, dress up professionally for your photo and add that in your resume. So it's very good to still be professional in your picture, and you don't want to send like a picture doing this or, like being maangas and anything. Again, you want to be very professional in your photo. So make sure that you're able to dress up very well and you also are able to really look very professional in your photo. Now, it's also good to look into character references. So let's just make sure that the people that you want to put as your character reference are the people that you've worked with already in the past or have seen you doing your work well. So who can be these people in your character references? So these are the people that you've worked as peers or as your supervisors. So again, if you were a working student, these were your managers or the ones who supervised you, who can objectively attest to your character and skills. So that's your former teachers, your professors. If you have done sports, your coaches or your trainers. And this could also be, let's say, your business partners. You don't want to add your mom or, let's say, your close friend to be a character reference. Because again, these are the people that don't see you when you're really serious at work or when you're serious doing schoolwork. So trust that your professors would want the best for you and they'll give you the best character references. Now, just to also add, you only provide character references when you are asked to provide this information. Again, you don't have to put this if the company is not looking for it. But if the certain company would like you to put character references, please do include this in your resume. Ha. Okay, so that's number one. Now, number two is you gotta dress to impress. It's very important, guys, because when you dress up professionally, it shows that you value the time that the company is investing in you. So you already sent out your resume, you already sent it out to all these different companies, and you get a call for an interview, right? So this time you're gonna show up physically or virtually to the interview. So you want to look very professional still because that means that you are really respecting the company's time in giving you an interview. So what are the few steps and few clothings that you can wear? So this would be a few examples of what you can wear during your interview. Again, this doesn't mean that you have to do this only when you're physically in an interview. It's very important to still also be very professional when you're doing virtual interviews. So dress up, guys. Like me, I'm wearing my Optum shirt and my Optum jacket because I know that you guys are important to me and I respect your time. So I professionally dressed up for you all. So that's the same on how you should also do it virtually. Dress up. You can wear a blazer. A blazer always dresses up an outfit. So it's very important that you invest in a good blazer. And you can also invest in a good pair of slacks, so your black pants, and also a good pair of shoes. Personally, I really prefer wearing ballet flats or the one with only a 1 inch heel because I don't really like high heels. But again, it's still me being very professional and it still works very well with a very corporate attire. Stay clear, of course, of not wearing ripped jeans and also very low tops because you don't want to distract the interviewer also for the ladies. And of course, wear the professional shoes, no slippers and no very kinky boots or high heels. So not super high heels that you would wear to a party. Again, you want closed shoes and just a good amount of heel so that you're comfortable enough. Because especially when you're physically going to an interview, you don't want to be running in heels, right? It's going to be very tiring. You might be uncomfortable. So my number one tip for you is to be very comfortable in what you are wearing. So find that corporate and professional attire that would still make you feel very comfortable but look professional at the same time. And it works the same with men. It's very important that the men also dress up professionally during their interviews. Again, invest in a very good blazer. One blazer is enough, one black blazer, and it will dress up your whole outfit. Boys, also don't forget collared shirts are very important to wear. So button down shirts are also okay. Um, Best to wear also slacks, not jeans. But if the company, let's say, is flexible enough for you to wear business casual, then jeans would be fine. But pair it up with a polo shirt or a collared top. And then you also want to wear leather shoes and closed shoes during the interview. And so it's very important that you dress up yourself very well through the interview and stay clear also from the ripped jeans. Try not to look so rebel and goth and wear your boots and sandals and slippers during the interview. Again, even in a virtual interview, do dress up because honestly, when you dress up and you feel very professional because when you dress up and you feel more confident when you're wearing corporate attire. That's what I feel. So at least that would help you also and give you a boost of energy when you have your physical and virtual interviews. All right. And number three, which is also part of our gadgets checklist, is to practice for your interviews. Again, it's very important to practice and practice and practice. May it be a face to face interview or a virtual interview, because at least when you start doing your interview, you already have that confidence and you've known that you already practiced your interview and know the steps of how the interview will go by. So you'll be much more confident when you start the interview. Now, what are these few steps or tips before an interview, right? You sent out your resume, you have your interview, you are already dressed very professionally. So now you have to prepare for your interview. Now, before the interview, during a face to face interview, it's very important to ask the recruiter. Let's say, of course, you get a call and they give you all the information about your interview. Now you have to ask them certain questions like how many resumes will I bring, or who will be my interviewer. At least you can already kind of prepare yourself on who's going to speak to you. And also, do you have a dress code in your office? So these are the questions that you want to ask so you can prepare yourself for the interview very well. It's also very much important to research about the company that you are going to work for. Again, each interview is a potential company that you will be working for. So make sure that you know the company that you are going to interview for. You know information about the position that you are applying for. So when the interview starts, at least you can have a free flowing conversation about it. And definitely, and honestly, most of the time, about 80 to 90% of the time, the recruiter will really ask you, what do you know about our organization? So at least when you do your research and when you've done your research, you already know the answer. And lastly, it's really preparing yourself. So this one, you physically and mentally have to prepare yourself for the interview. Make sure that you have enough sleep. It's very important that you sleep very well before your interview. And mentally, of course, prepare yourself. You can pray or meditate and really just kind of already have that focus that you're about to be interviewed so that you can also stay calm. So it also works the same way with online interviews. Whoops. And it's important for online interviews to, of course, ask, research, and prepare yourself. But also with technology, it's important to choose the best device and location where you want to have your interview. You have to, of course, pick the device that would give you, let's say, the best um, camera so that the interview you can see well or have the best audio. So it really depends on where what device you're comfortable in. It could be a laptop, a tablet, a cell phone, all up to you. But also find a good location where it's quiet so that at least you are having this private conversation during the interview. And then it's also important to test the technology that you will be using. So don't forget to, let's say, log in already a Zoom call or a Google Meets call. So at least you can test also your internet connection and everything. And of course, have a backup plan. So let's say you're using a tablet, but you forgot to charge it. So it's only 5% na lang. So you can always bring out your cell phone that's readily available beside you. So at least you have a backup device in case something happens, right? Because again, technology very good, but sometimes unreliable. Sometimes. All right. Now, on the day of the interview, it's very important that you arrive 15 minutes before the interview because this would also help you freshen up and also prepare yourself physically and mentally before your interview, right? So it's very good that you at least be on time. Sorry, that you be on time and be there at least 15 to 30 minutes before your interview because again, you don't want to be rushing and, when you get to the company, you're already sweaty from running for your interview. So at least if you're there earlier, you can excuse yourself, go to the bathroom, freshen up, and just wait in the waiting area. It's also important to always bring a copy, an extra copy of your resume. I would suggest don't like bring 10, right? Don't do that. Bring maybe about 2 to 3 because you want to be prepared. Let's say after your interview, you'll have another interview. So you also have a resume to give the next interviewer. And then, of course, prepare your portfolio very well, especially for the art students. Make sure that it's ready filed in a nice, clear book. So at least it's also prepared when they ask for it, if they ask for it. And of course, in the waiting area, please be polite, be quiet, because again, first impressions count. So you don't want to be the that person that the recruiters talk about that ay maingay yung candidate na yun, ang kulit niya. So you want to be again and show also that you are already a very good person from the start of your interview process. That's already in the waiting area. So again, be polite and behave accordingly. Now, for online interviews, it's very important to take a second to respond to the questions. So, when, let's say, you are already being asked certain questions and during the interview, make sure that the interviewer completes his or her sentence before you already answer. So, just nod your head, of course, acknowledge the question, but again, take a second to respond to the question. So, at least you have enough time to think about also the entire question and answer the question correctly. It's also remember also your nonverbals. So meaning your hand gestures. Me, I like using this because I like to express myself well. But again, you don't want to be like in an online interview and then you're like this pala the whole time you're crouching or you're like this pala the whole time during the interview. So you want to again look very professional during your interviews. You can act as if the person is right across you physically. So at least that would also kind of put your focus in that you're doing going through an online interview. And again, don't forget to smile and look directly at the camera. Some people forget that the camera is right in front of them because usually when they see themselves, they look there. So it's very good that you look straight into the camera. So they know it's like you're looking at them eye to eye, right? Like you want to really picture that the person is really physically right in front of you. So it's good to look straight into the camera and smile. Don't forget to smile because they can still see you, right? And lastly, of course, you can take notes during the interview if you need them. Again, that's kind of the benefit of virtual interviews. You can have notes on the side and your interviewer really won't see it. But again, if it really distracts you and you'll end up just keep doing this throughout the interview, I suggest that you don't have notes anymore. It would be best if you just prepare yourself already and maybe keep the notes there just in case, like just for a quick glance. Okay? Right. Now, during the interview, also, it's very important to never lie about your skills. Um, Make sure that you want to be as authentic as you are during your interview because honestly, recruiters can sniff out if you're kind of lying to them. They really, I mean, they have been already interviewing more than 100 people already, so they know more or less if you're lying or not. So you better be very authentic and make sure that you're really telling the truth about your work experiences and what you have gone through, let's say in school. It's also important to listen very actively. So let's make sure that you listen to the questions very well so that you can answer the questions directly in complete sentences. And of course, take time for the interviewer to finish their sentence. It's not good to interrupt the interviewer. And only share appropriate information throughout the interview. You don't want to tell your entire life story when they ask you, tell me something about yourself. You want to only make sure you want to make sure that your answers are very short, but they also are very direct and answer the question directly. So let's just make sure to not you know answer the question too long, or think that if you answer the question with so many words and so many sentences, it's going to be better. Nope. Really, if you answer the questions directly in complete sentences, that's the best thing that you can do to answer questions. And again, of course, don't be arrogant. Don't be mayabang in your interview. Always humble yourself throughout the interview. Again, the employers and also these interviewers are giving their time to interview you, to get to know you, so that, and because they feel that they want you to be part of their team. So of course, humble yourself throughout the interview. It works the same way with online interviews, but make sure again to test all your devices before your interview starts so nothing can go wrong. Don't forget to power dress. Very important. Make sure that you are very well dressed and professional even in a virtual interview. And turn off all the devices that you may not need during the interview so that it doesn't distract you. Just make sure that your emergency device is the only one there ready, but make sure that it's not facing upward so you don't get distracted with, let's say, incoming calls or texts. And also, of course, still be on time before your interview. Be on the call 10 minutes before your interview. So there's usually a waiting room, or the host will let you in at a certain time, usually 5 minutes before the interview. But again, it's very good to be on time, even in online interviews, because it shows that you respect the time of the interviewer. And lastly, what's the best thing to say or do? So, usually, of course, when you are going through the interview, they will be asking you, of course, how much are you expecting? So, it's very important to be realistic when you answer that question. Again, part of your research of the position that you're applying for, you can more or less look of how much people in that position usually make. So, you can kind of compute on average how much the realistic amount would be that the company can give you. Or if they already put it in their ad, then perfect. You can say that already. So be very realistic when answering that question. And if you have questions, please ask those questions during the interview. It's very important that you ask questions after the interview, because honestly, recruiters love that. They are excited because they really know that you listened very well to their interview, or you listened very well to the questions that you are being asked. And it shows also your interest in the position and the company that you want to work for. So again, ask questions. Very important. And lastly, if you are being asked, or if they ask you if the compensation that you are asking for is still negotiable, be open and say yes. Again, you are humbling yourself and really kind of still looking for a job. But of course, you know how much that you know your worth, and you know how much you are worth. So just make sure that, you still have that negotiable conversation about the compensation that you would want and what the company can give you. Again, there'll always be a middle point to that, and you'll find that perfect blend that you would get for your compensation. And lastly, when you are done and the interview is completely done, remember to say thank you. Again, you want to appreciate their time that they have spent with you when going through an interview with you. Ask again, what are the next steps to the recruiters? You want to know, let's say, if you're going to have another interview or you're going to take assessments. So again, ask what would be the next steps of your interview. And for follow-ups, of course, let's say you don't hear from the company about 2 to 3 days. Honestly, that is okay. Again, interviewers or recruiters interview more than maybe sometimes over 50 or 100 candidates per day. So they have to assess all of those candidates, right? So give them slack, and cut them some slack, and just really give them about 2 to 3 days to go reach back to you, and you can follow up at that time. And lastly, relax. You completed already, and you went through the whole recruitment process, so this is the time where you can just relax and pray and wait really for your results of your interview. So that's about it. Just the three things again in your checklist: always create and prepare your resume, Number two is power dress or dress to impress. Don't forget to look professional. And number three is always practice, practice, practice. Meaning practice your interviews and just keep in mind the tips that I've shared with you. And always remember, guys, that what makes you special can inspire your life's best work. So really, I think my parting words would be really what when you are your authentic self, it really makes you special and can really inspire you to be the best person that you can be, and also really help you become what you want to be in your career. So that would lead you to the right path on your career. So again, thank you so much for your time. I also just wanted to share also very quickly that currently Optum Global Solutions is hiring. So these are the current roles that we have available in our organization. So make sure to just look into our careers website, which is work@optum.com, for more information about the openings that we have. And you can always also, take a screen cap of this. This is my email address that you can always send your resume to. And again, connect with us at work@optum.com. We are also available on Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, and Twitter. So just make sure to connect with us, and we'll be happy to share with you more about our organization. So thank you, everyone. I hope you really learned a few things from me from today, and do be ready with your graduates checklist. Thank you.
Thank you for that, Miss Reed. So, ma'am, let's go to the questions po. We have a question here from Shania Ryan. Good PM po. So, K-12 graduate po ako. Is it possible na matanggap sa mga ina-applyan ko? Thank you.
Yes. So that's a good question, actually. Since we shifted to already the K to 12 program, a lot of senior high students are wondering if they have opportunities after they graduate, because, of course, that's what we want. And yes, there really are there are opportunities for you. And if you know that you are ready to join the workforce, then go start applying. A lot of companies are currently hiring for senior high students, and there are also several opportunities for you out there. Just make sure that you find the right one that would fit your culture and also values.
How about in Optum, ma'am? Do we have positions for K-12 graduates?
Right now, not right now, but definitely by next year, we're looking into hiring also senior high students.
All right. Okay. So that's it, you guys. So Miss Reese answered your questions. Thank you for that, ma'am. Um, if you have no more questions, guys, thank you, Miss Reese, for joining us today. If you want to check out
Anytime.
Optum's list of vacancies, you can check jobs180.com/Optum, and you will find the list of positions that Optum is offering. Okay. So thank you, Miss Reese, for your time. Salamat po for being with us. We hope to see you in the future talks now. Thank you
Yes.
po.
Thank you again, Sherry, and thank you, everyone. Have a great day. Bye bye.
Have a great day, ma'am. Alright, so to everyone who is tuned in today, we will now play a video on how to create a resume link. So this is a more secure type of resume. So kung meron ka na nito, good job. So if wala pa, and you want to check paano gumawa nito, 3 minutes lang papakita namin.
Step 1. Register. Go to www.jobs180.com and click Register Now. In choosing your resume link, use your full name so that it looks professional and is easy to recall by potential.
After you register, go to your email address and validate your jobs180.com account to activate.
Step 2. Complete your resume link. You can also put your objectives, work options, work experience, certification.
Alright, so thank you guys for watching our little commercial. So let's go to our next speaker. So for our next speaker, he is Sir Miko Javier. He will be discussing skills that companies look for. So Sir Miko Javier is a company life coach employed with Insurance Support Services International Corporation since 2016. So Sir Miko, if you're in the stream, please join us po.
All right. Hi, Ma'am Shari. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon po.
I
Ayan. So,
right.
sir, we are joined today. So, I've been browsing through the comments. We have graduates from UMAC. We have people from PUP Taguig,
All right.
watchers from the Women's Center. So,
All
if you
right.
can please discuss to them, ano po yung mga skills na hinahanap ng mga companies pag nag-hire. Ayan. So,
All
let's
right.
start
All right.
sharing your screen, sir, para matest
Oh,
po
hold on.
natin.
All right. I'll share. Okay, share screen.
Ayan guys, if you have questions for Sir Miko later, keep them coming doon sa ating comment box para pwede natin siyang basahin later. Okay?
All right. Ma'am Shari, I'm so sorry. Hold on na.
Okay, sir.
Hold on.
Go ahead po. Ayan. So, ang first topic natin guys, tapos na tayo sa after graduation checklist. So, you've seen Miss Reese discuss kung ano yung kailangan natin bago tayo mag-apply. So, today, with Sir Miko, i-discuss naman niya kung ano yung mga hinahanap na competencies. Ano yung mga skills or ano yung mga traits na hinahanap ng employers pag nandun na kayo at nag-a-apply. So, ito, kodigo natin to. Cheat sheet natin to para alam natin, no? Kung ano yung hinahanap nila pag tayo naman yung nandoon sa office nila at nag-a-apply. So this applies also to online interviews. And sir, I can see it. You have to share the presentation, sir.
All right. All right. So, hold on. Ayan, can
Okay
you
po,
see it?
sir. Wala. Ayan, sir. Loading po.
All right. Loading. All right.
Full screen ako, sir, nung presentation. Right now, I see your screen po eh.
Ay, okay. Hold on. All right. How about now?
Wait lang, sir ah. No change po tayo sa StreamYard. No change po tayo, sir.
It's loading, no?
Hindi, sir eh. You have to, hindi ko kasi makita, sir. You have to share the actual presentation po, the PowerPoint presentation or the slides that you're using.
All right. Hold on.
Sorry guys ha. So, ito yung problema sa technology. Medyo hindi siya reliable.
I'm sorry. What are you seeing ba? What are you seeing now?
Right now, sir, the screens, the two of us lang po. Ayan, sir, loading na po siya, pero ang naglo-load po yung screen nyo. Yung StreamYard link po. Yun po yung naglo-load. So, you have to put in the presentation. Share the application window, sir. Yung presentation. Pag nag-share kayo, sir, share the application window.
Okay, hold on. I'm so sorry. Share screen. Okay. So share screen, right? And then
Share screen, sir, and then application window.
oh, okay. All right, all right. All right. Let me know
There.
if you're
Ayun
seeing
na,
it.
sir. Naka-full screen na po.
All
Okay na po.
right, all right.
Naka-end
Okay.
slide lang siya, sir. Naka-you are hired. Yun po ba yung first slide nyo?
That's my first slide because that's what
Okay.
everyone wants to hear, di ba?
Okay.
At the end of the interview, that's what everyone wants to hear. So yeah, this is the
Okay.
start of
Sir, I
my
leave
slide.
you to it. The floor is yours. I'll be back for the Q&A po.
All right, all right. So okay, so thank you, Ma'am Shari. So I'll start. So again, you guys can call me Miko. So I work for Insurance Support Service International. All right, now, I will be talking about the top skills that companies are looking for. No, before I start, I would just like to tell everyone that you should at this point you should start congratulating yourself. Now, why? Because you're here and you watching this presentation shows us that you really are interested in improving yourself. All right. You are interested to improve yourself in getting that job, getting that career, and that's a step already to reaching your goal or what you want. I grew up in the 90s and I remember there was this commercial that great things start from small beginnings. So again, doing this small beginning will help you reach the career that you want for yourself. All right, so I'll start. So again, I'll talk about top skills employers are looking for. So these are opportunities, expectations, and requirements. Now, when we say of skills, ano ba yung skills? Now, skills are expertise or talents that we have, right? And these are the things that will help us with our work. Okay? Now, para lang maayos yung presentation natin, I provided three objectives. First is know what the top skills employers are looking for, understand why these skills are important, and also have fun learning. All right. So that's our three objectives right now. These things now, you might ask me, saan nakuha ni Miko to? So these are skills that I've noticed and I've observed that are important in my almost 16 years of experience in the HR and also in sales working with HR people and also the things that I've seen with the companies that I work for and my friends who are also working in the HR. Okay? So ano ba tong mga skills na to? So these would be customer service skills, communication skills, and then teamwork. All right. Mukha lang siyang konti pero marami akong sasabihin bawat bullets. All right. So start customer service skills. So whether you work in the customer service industry or not, customer service skills are important. These are important because everyone is a customer. All right, you might say, "Oh, I work in finance, magiging accountant ako or magiging architect ako." But everyone that you work with is a customer. Your boss is a customer. Your coworker is a customer. So that's why it's very important, that you have customer service skills as early as now. So marami actually customer service skills if you search through the net. However, I placed five of them here. First is empathy. All right. So what is empathy? Uh, Empathy is putting yourself in the shoes of another person. All right. Having empathy means that you understand. Uh, it's important, and employers are looking for people who have empathy because if exuding empathy or having compassionate empathy um, helps you do your job well. Di ba? Hindi lang yung binigyan ka ng work, sasagot mo lang yes or no ha. It doesn't work that way. If you have empathy, you will find ways on how to serve your customer or work with your coworker with what you can offer and in a thing or a manner na pareho kayong makikinabang. All right? So that's why empathy is important. Second is time management. Now, how can you manage time? It's always moving, right? However, it's not really managing time itself, but it's managing the responsibilities. It's having the capability or the skill to manage the responsibilities that you are given within a time frame. So the usual work hours would be 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. That's the or 9 hours kasama lunchtime. So how will you manage the responsibilities, right? For example, if you have admin tasks, right, or if you have customer interface tasks, right? So it's about not managing the time itself, but it's managing the responsibilities that you put in time. Studies have shown that people who manage the responsibilities in a given time period are less stressed, have more time to build relationships with work and are enjoying what they're doing. So that's why time management is also an important customer service skill. All right. Next is openness. So, ano ba yung openness? For those who are graduates or who are taking up psychology, openness actually is a part of the big five traits, no? So, openness is a skill that's also important because this enables you to be humble and, to learn from your mistakes, to learn from experiences, and to learn from other people as well. It's being open to accept your mistake. It's being open to other things or let's say with work, no, it's being open to a different manner of doing the work na iba dun sa nakasanayan mo. Because probably, if what you know might not be working is not working, other ways may be able to help you solve your problem. All right, so it's being open to learning. Okay. Next is customer service skills, then attention to details. All right. It's very important because details make the work itself. Data or details make the work itself. Magkamali ka lang ng detalye sa contracts or even pagtawag sa client can spell a loss of time, loss of money, and even loss of relationships. So it's really very important that you put attention and you put focus on what you're doing, right? Even a simple report, a simple minutes of the meeting is important. All right. And then also keeping commitments. It's not just about saying, oh, I will do this for you, I'm here for you, but it's really doing what you've promised. One of the things that's important is trust. And keeping commitments builds trust. If your clients, if your coworkers, if your boss knows that you keep your commitments, if you say that, boss, gagawin ko to. Hindi ko to magagawa on a weekend, pero Monday na Monday, umaga gagawin ko to. If you do that and you keep to that, they will know that you are someone that they can trust, and who knows, di ba? Someone that they can also promote. All right? So these are customer service skills. Again, empathy, time management, openness, attention to details, and keeping commitments. All right. Next would be communication skills. So when we talk about communication skills, it's not just about talking or conversing or being good in Filipino or being good in English. It's about actually using language in the correct manner. It involves ensuring that both messages are conveyed properly, understood by both parties, and that a win-win situation is met. Okay? So communication skills is about conveying your information and getting the information that people are also telling you. So this is important because it's important with working with other people. You communicate your ideas, you communicate your plans, and most of the time, problems in the workplace arise because of miscommunication. And people with good communication skills, or once you develop your communication skills, this is very important, and something that employers are looking for. So how do you build this? Or what constitute good communication skills? This would be avoiding miscommunication starters. Ano tong mga to? Assuming that you know that the person is assuming what the person is saying, or assuming what the person will say. Diba? Because sometimes what we think that the person will say is not really what it's not really what the person will say, diba? Or posibleng may idea ka na, alam ko na kung paano mangyayari to. Pero minsan kasi hindi naman ganun talaga yung nangyayari eh. So it's really understanding or letting the person finish what they would like to tell you or your group, okay? Also, striving to be a listener. It's very easy to say, oh, I will listen to you. But listening takes more than just physically listening or using your ears. It entails you to really understand where your coworker or your customer or your boss is coming from. All right. So if we will go back to the previous presentation where I've been talking about empathy, it related siya because um, listening well makes you understand your coworker, your customer well, right? So posibleng tunog galit pero may hindi talaga galit yung uh, hindi talaga galit yung message. All right? And also, communication skills is being honest, clear, and respectful of the person you are talking to, right? Remember that we all have our different values, beliefs, and attitudes. All right, these three. So being honest with what you feel will help the person also know that you're someone who they can trust because you're honest and you're speaking your truth. But at the same time, it's also being clear, not assuming that the person will understand or not relying on context clues na, hindi, alam mo na yung sinasabi ko, no? It doesn't work that way. And also being respectful. And of course, we know that being respectful isn't just using po or opo. All right? Being respectful means letting the person finish or, not invalidating what the person is saying. All right. And the last skill that I would like to share is teamwork. Now, with this, I would like to share a quote by an IO psychologist named Adam Grant. All right, he's actually a New York Times bestseller. So, he said that putting people in a group doesn't make them a team. A team is a collection of people with a shared identity who collaborate to achieve a common mission. Each member makes a unique contribution. Turning a group into a team starts with clarifying core values, goals, and roles. So I'm sharing six parts of teamwork. This is actually based on the team emotional and social intelligence model, right? So ano to? Ano tong mga parts na ito, no? So team identity. As humans, we always wanted to be a part of a group. We are all social beings. So one of the things that I've noticed is that when people are looking for jobs, they usually say yes, opo, or they think that letting the interviewer hear what they want to hear is the key. Actually, I would not suggest that. What's important is you also see whether that the identity of the company that you are applying for is the identity that you'd also want for yourself. All right. So what am I saying? So if you are, let's say, uh a non-smoker, right? Is it, or you're not fond of gambling, is it worthwhile for you to work in a company that the business is gambling? So ayun, so team identity. Actually, companies are moving into having team identity. If you've noticed, like one something or we're all in this together. Companies would always have that tagline because they want people who share their same identities. Okay. Also, motivation, that you are motivated in the same manner as your coworker. So kung sales team kayo, right, you are all motivated to not just fulfill or beat your quota, but also exceed it, because all of you, if you exceed it, all of you will get your commissions, will get your bonuses, and if there are even team incentives, your team will get it, right? So that's why motivation is important. Also, self-awareness. Sometimes, di ba, I don't actually, I don't said, con, uh, I would suggest that people will be aware of how their emotions will be. Because sometimes, di ba, as humans, hindi natin mapigilan minsan na makaramdam ng mga hindi magagandang pakiramdam. No, but at the same time, that we be aware, especially if we are at work. All right. So self-awareness is important because we are working not just with ourselves, but with other people as well. And then again, communications, I stated that a while ago, yung clarity of information that you are conveying as well as receiving the information that is being said to you. And then stress tolerance, all of us have stress. I've read another quote by a psychologist about stress, no, that sometimes we should not treat it as something as uncomfortable, but treat it as something that, or so, to treat stress not as something that's just uncomfortable, but treat it as something as uncomfortable, but something that we learn from, right? So minsan kasi if we're stressed, means that there's something that we need to change or that we really need to do, right? So yeah, stress tolerance, and then positive mood. It everybody would like to work with a person who's well, not always happy, but who's in a positive mood, in a sense that if it's crunch time, talagang crunch time kayo lahat. Talagang ang vision ninyo is to go towards that goal, right? And then if it's fun time or socialization time, yung masaya ka usap, or if it's a serious time, yung seryoso din, right? So these are the key components of teamwork. All right. Now, again, I would like to do a recap. So it's communication skills, uh, customer service skills, and teamwork. Now, at this point, I would like to take the opportunity to share that companies are looking for people who would like to work with a company together with its mission, vision, and values. The mission, vision, and values, they have their purpose. All right. So ito kasi yung kung saan gusto papunta ng kumpanya. And it's natural that these companies are also looking for people who would like to be there with them at that time and in that manner. All right. And also, I would like to share that with the company that I'm working for right now, Insurance Support Services International, our values are uprightness and proprietary, professionalism, and honesty. So ano to? Just with the company name, you will have an idea that we are working with finances, or something that has to do with safety and security, right? So uprightness is being honest or having integrity. Proprietary is having responsibility over what you're doing. Professionalism is, doing your job if things aren't going well. And then honesty is, being honest with work. So what uh, the organization that I'm in right now is looking for are also people who, kung wala man pa nitong mga values na to, are willing to create to build these values. All right. And with that, I would also like to invite you to join our organization. So we are hiring customer service representatives. We're actually growing. We have a new site that we've just built. And the good news for people who are listening right now is that our sites are in McKinley and in BGC. So it's very near your school. And I'm also thinking probably very near where you live, all right, or where you stay. So we are hiring customer service representatives. I've placed the link, the Jobs 180 link here. Although you can also search Insurance Support Services International in Jobs 180. Short, ang acronym namin is ISSICO. All right. And I would invite you to go to our Facebook page. Just search Insurance Support Services International, and then you'll get to know more about our company. All right. So again, we are looking for people like what I've shared. We are looking for people who have customer service skills, communication skills, and teamwork. And I'm sure it's not just us who's looking for people who have these skills. All right. And to end my presentation, I would just like to share a quote that says, "To be beautiful means to be yourself." Okay. You don't need to be accepted by others. You just need to accept yourself. All right. A while ago, the previous speaker, si Ma'am Christine, I was listening and I heard that she mentioned authenticity, which I also agree. You know, at, when we were in school and while we were growing up, we've already honed values and we've already developed skills, right? So work on that. And don't rush into being a better version of yourself. Work on what you have and then just build it from there. Learn from experiences and take time to really accept yourself, because like one psychologist also said, si Carl Rogers, he said that the irony is when you've accepted yourself, then that's the time we're in. It's going to be easy for you to change for the better. All right. So, guys, I'm not sure if you call yourselves Job 180ers, but I hope that you've learned from my presentation, and I believe I'm now open for questions. So, thank you so
Thank you
much.
for that, Sir Miko. Salamat po. Sir, sir, I prepared the question. In your years of working with fresh graduates and new hires, ganyan. What is the skill that they find most challenging? So ano po yung isang skill na nahihirapan sila or nata-challenge sila? Or kakulangan nila, yung pwede pang ma-improve para sa mga fresh grads po?
All right. The skill that I've noticed that they find challenging would be communication skills. And I'm not just referring to the use of English or the use of Filipino. I'm talking about really saying what they want to say and saying it in a manner that they think will be understood. You know, there are applicants who would say a lot of things. So ang mangyayari ngayon, ang bilis sila magsalita, right? Or there are also applicants who would just answer you with a yes or no, 'di ba? I'm sure, 'di ba? It's not that they don't they don't know things. I'm thinking, and it seems as with my experience, that it's really communication skills that they have to develop.
I see, sir. So, actually, sir, lagi ko po yan tinatanong pag may mga nai-invite kami speakers. And mostly, yun din po yung sagot nila na communication skills nga daw po ay they find sa mga fresh grads na yun po yung kailangang i-improve. Ayan.
All
So,
right.
thank you po for that po. Sir, I think my last question would be, what would be your parang motivational message to our fresh grads, our newly graduates, if they want to venture into your industry po?
I'm sorry. What was that? What
Motivation message, sir,
I
for
I
fresh
think
grads who are
for
starting
fresh
their...
graduates.
Opo.
All right. All right. All right. Hold on. Hold on, ha. Give me a few seconds. I have I've read a nice quote there.
Ayan, guys. So, magbibigay si Sir Miko ng quote para naman ma-motivate kayo na hindi po na ma-demotivate at hindi mo na ma-feel down kapag na-derail yung inyong mga um, career goals, ganyan.
Hold on. Go ahead.
Let's
Go
answer
ahead.
that later, sir. I have
Yes.
an incoming question from CIJ Pagurayan. About the CSR offer, is it voice or non-voice, chat or email support? Well, thank you.
All right. It's a voice account. It's a voice
Alright.
account, but since it's a customer service, so they'll also be doing work, back office work, but it's mostly voice.
Alright. Sige, sir. Okay, I hope that answers your question, Siege. If you want
Uh,
to apply to ISSICO, you can go to jobsmedia.com/ISSICO careers.
all right. Or yeah, Jobs 180 careers, or go to they could also go to our Facebook page. All right.
Ay,
Because our HR representatives are actually very active there, as well as with Jobs 180. Okay, I cannot find the exact quote, no, but
no
it
problem.
goes like this. That the first, si Adam Grant yung nagsabi nito. So ang sabi kasi niya is, the first work, your first work, for those who are fresh graduates, no, your first work need not to be great. What it needs is that it changes you. Because if it changes you for the better, then great things are bound to come your way. So siguro with that, it, di ba, like when we I'm not sure about you, Ma'am Shari, but di ba, sometimes pag fresh graduate ka, di ba, thinking ang gusto mo is, ay, gusto ko ganito, gusto ko ganyan, gusto ko magaling na ako agad, right? But then again, at the end of the day, what's important is whatever work or job that you get, that it changes you for the better, that you learn from it, and you take the things seriously, your learnings, that you take it seriously. So, and because of that, it's going to help you with your current work and probably your future work. So ayun. So what's important is that your first work changes you for the better. It needs not to be great right away.
Thank you for that, Sir Miko. Wala nang ibang pagsasabi pang mas mahalaga kaysa doon. Alright. So, guys, if you have no more questions, thank you, Sir Miko, for joining us here today. If you want to check out ISSICO's list of vacancies, you can check out jobs20.com/ISSICO careers, or you can go to jobs20.com and find them among those companies na nandun sa jobs. So, thank you, Sir Miko. Maraming salamat
You
po for
are
gracing us here
welcome,
today.
and thank
So,
you too. Thank you
see
too.
you in the next few sessions pa po. Thank you, sir.
Sure. You
All
are welcome.
right.
Thank you
Guys,
too. Okay,
buhay po
bye.
ba? Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Alright, so guys, buhay pa ba kayo? Let's go to our forum. So, etong forum natin, first time natin siya gagawin. So, meron tayong apat na panelist. Ako yung magmo-moderate, kayo yung last panel. Ibig sabihin, kayo yung magtatanong. Kayo yung, kasama kayo sa magtatanong, sa pwede magtanong. Alright? So, on our panel, we have Miss Bernadette de Belen, Operations Manager of Factset. We have Mr. Dennis Pabelico, Senior Supervising Consultant for John Clements Consultancy, Ms. Angelica Tan, Talent Acquisition Manager for Makati Medical Center, and Mr. JP Suarez, Associate Vice President for Strategic Engagement, Inspiro. So you can see, guys, we are very fortunate to have all of them with us today. Bakit? Because we will be hearing insights of how it is like to work with different industries. So, meron tayong BPO, si Inspiro. Meron tayong KPO, si Factset. So, ano pagkakaiba yan mamaya later? Meron tayong consultancy, that's John Clements, and lastly, meron din tayong hospital, healthcare, Makati Med. So, this is how this segment will go. Magtatanong ako, parang kwentuhan lang, they will answer, and you guys will be the last panel. You can ask questions. Ibabato nyo lang, and we will answer. Okay? So, let's start. Ayan. So, if the panels are ready, kung nandiyan na po yung panel natin, let's ask them to join our screen. Yan. So, una natin gagawin, kakamustahin natin yung industries nila. Ayan. So, hi, Miss Angel. Thank you for joining us today. Hi, Miss Miss Bernadette. Thank you for joining us here today. Hi, Sir Dennis, and hi, Sir JP. Salamat po for gracing our panel today. So this is how it will go. I will ask a question and I will address it to one of you and then you answer. So lahat po tayo may chance mag-answer ng question. Okay? So to start with, I would like to ask, kamusta po yung industries nila? So to Sir Dennis of John Clements, you are working with a consultancy. So sa big clients niyo po ba, is there a decrease in manpower need because of the pandemic? Or I guess what I'm really asking is, ano-ano po yung industries yung actively nag-hire or massively nag-hire kung saan po pwede ma-place yung fresh grads natin na naghahanap ng jobs. This question is addressed to Sir Dennis po.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. Hope
Good
you're
afternoon,
enjoying your
sir.
time. Yeah. Despite the pandemic, we, when we started in April, when the lockdown started, that was really a critical part because really it seems that the world stopped, right? Even our clients did not really, they freeze hire, they stop getting recruitment partners like us. But at this point in time, like this October, it's been a trickle already that they are coming in already. But most of the what's this? The jobs are work from home because they still realize that there's still you know like going outside, it's still something that you can pick up the virus, but there is still other industries that they require already their employees to work in the office. So what are the industries that are booming right now? As you heard from the previous speaker, that's a BPO company. Yes, the BPO company are hiring, and as mentioned by the previous speaker, they are hiring a lot. And with our clients also, they are continuously hiring. That's for the BPO client. We also have the e-commerce industry. The e-commerce is fully digitalized. That's how they do transactions right now, and they are growing in terms of numbers. But basically, if you want to survive 2020, it's not about growing the company, but it's also about saving on cost. Now we are part of cost because when they hire us to hire people for them, then they have to pay us. So for us, it's a lost business because they don't hire us to help them. So it's their internal employee referrals that are the one doing the job. It's their recruitment team that are the one doing the job. But still, they are consistently growing. But it depends on what kind of requirements do they need. Now, if you ask about logistics, of course, they need motorcycle riders, to deliver things. And I'm sure the graduates are not quite interested with that. But I'm sure there would be also because it's not a matter of you perceived to be having a blue collar job or a white collar job. It's really about surviving in this year 2020. And of course, what are the industries that are in a loss? That's number one, our hotel industry, the hospitality industry, tourism. Those are the things that we lost. Because before we have like clients who are in the hotel industry and they just close. It's so sad, no? I have a lot of big names in the hotel industry, but until now, they're not doing any action, but in fact, they're laying off people. So let's just pray that our economy will move forward. We just have to survive 2020. And then 2021 will bring us a different challenge on how we could move up or how, again, we could survive that year. But for 2020, it's a matter of survival. So that's it. Thank you.
All right. Thank you for that, sir. How about in the screen? How about Sir JP? Do we have the same demand, or is the demand for associates or agents greater more than ever right now because majority of the Filipinos would like to work from home? So this is a question to Sir JP of Inspiro. Um, is it we have
Okay.
the same demand, sir, or is the demand for like associates or agents or support officers greater more than ever because majority of the Filipinos would like to work from home?
I think, well, first off, I think what Dennis has said was spot on. You have industries that are growing while you have industries that aren't. Um, Working with a BPO industry, since we are the call center capital of the world, many of the other businesses that are that are trying to survive need to find a way to lower their cost. And manpower is the largest cost of an organization. Now, since we are the call center capital of the world, many of our clients are relying on us now to give them quality candidates and quality teammates to be able to service their needs. Um, and that's why the BPO industry is growing tremendously. There are some BPOs that definitely have slowed down. And like Dennis has said, those are, in the industries of like tourism. If you're working for a BPO that happens to be in the tourism industry, um, you'll definitely slow down. If you work for a BPO that might be in travel or in possibly logistics, you might slow down. But many of the BPOs are really booming because they're in service oriented is history industries. So I'll give you an example, right? Us Filipinos, we can only stay at home. What do? We order food, we watch movies, we try to keep ourselves, busy and happy. And everything that we do at home, we need help for that. We need people who are working in, let's say, Signal, or to get us more channels. We need to deliver food to us. It's our pamangkin's birthday, or it's our parents' birthday. We want to send them a gift, and so we're doing all of that from home. And we need service providers to take care of that stuff for us. And there comes the BPOs. Now, that's not just for the Philippines. That's across the world, right? If you have you have 70% of there. Okay, there are over 850 uh, BPOs here in the Philippines. 500 of those are contact centers, and 70% of our clients are in the U.S., while the rest make up of Europe, make up of Australia, and all of those clients. They all need assistance. They need people to make orders for them. They need people to change channels for them, to service them if they're having issues with their tech or their gadgets. All of that flows back to the Philippines. So we're really really blessed that even this in this pandemic, we're able to offer jobs to those people that may have lost their jobs. So those in the hospitality industry do really well with customer service that might have lost their jobs. They can work for a BPO, being able to service clients from their homes. And Dennis was right. We, for as a BPO company, we offer work from home for a lot of our employees. However, there is a demographic of employees that don't have internet from home. And so because of that, we also have on-site options as well. So 30% for Inspiro, 30% of our employees work on site for the main reason that they don't have internet access at home. But those that have internet access do work from home. So that's the reason why the BPO industry is currently growing as it is.
Right. So thank you for that, Sir JP. Now let's ask Miss Bernadette. Yan. So si Miss Bernadette, she's representing Factset. So Factset is a knowledge process outsourcing company. So Miss Bernadette, can you please enlighten us what's the main difference between a BPO and a TPO?
Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for having Factset this afternoon. This is a very tricky question, Shari. Because KPO is really a subset of BPO. And to be honest with you, I've been with Factset for the past 10 years. And when I joined them, I said, "Are we also a BPO?" Because I came from a BPO, and they said, "No, we're a KPO." At that time, I said, what the hell is a KPO? So it's knowledge process outsource. Now, this KPO may be a subset of BPO, but these two outsourcing methods, they actually differ in terms of expertise and performing business functions. So a BPO requires process expertise, and this includes, of course, handling customer inquiries. I think it's the most familiar. In KPO, this demands in-depth knowledge, expertise that directly contributes to the business's core functions. So KPO companies hire people with technical and analytical skills, very good academic qualifications, and extensive training in their field. In the case of Factset, the expertise is finance and IT. So in terms of hiring, we need to look for people who are highly expert, or who are experts or highly skilled in these areas. I guess it's the shortest that I can really differentiate KPO from a BPO.
All right, ma'am. I'm sure you get that question a lot din. Kasi syempre sa
Yes,
mga question pinipare namin. All right.
especially from
Let's
new
go to
hires.
the industry who's making the biggest sacrifice right now. So the one with the biggest challenge. So Miss Angelica, so we want to ask ano po yung mga challenges na kinakaharap ng mga healthcare professionals seasoned or papasok pa lang sa industries nila, especially when it comes to recruitment and human resources.
Okay, good afternoon. So I'm Angel from Makati Medical Center. So definitely, given the pandemic, a lot of our healthcare workers are still scared of coming back. No? But one of the challenges that we are currently encountering is to encourage them to come back and see again and serve what they've promised to do. So that is really to serve and take care of patients. No? At this point, so admittedly, we've slowed down on some requirements, but I can say that two of the active positions that we're hiring are nurses and medical technologists. So nurses, even before the pandemic, because of the exodus of nurses, because of better opportunities abroad, they really, go out of the Philippines. And with the pandemic, it added to our burden of hiring, and asking them to see what the opportunities here in the Philippines. So I guess one of the challenges that we are facing also is for our nurses, for our healthcare workers to come back and serve the Filipinos who are sick and who are stricken by the pandemic.
So thank you for that, Miss Angelica. So it really is a big sacrifice. So maraming salamat po sa mga tuloy na pumipili at gustong manatili sa bansang Pilipinas kahit ang hirap-hirap. So thank you po. Uh, Now let's ask the hardest question, or the most beauty queen Miss Universe question. What makes working in your company different from working with other companies? So let's start with Sir JP. I feel that you're the bravest in our panel to start. Can you please tell us what's your most favorite thing about
Okay.
working with Inspiro, and how is it different from other BPOs?
Well, I've been working with Inspiro for over 13 years. One of our core values is malasakit, and we have teammates on our team that have worked for this company for 15 years and more. And one of the biggest reasons for that is, besides the fact that it's malasakit, we think of each other as a very big family. We really deeply care for each other, and we want to succeed as a group. And I think, when people say, you work at a BPO, what's it like? Working in a BPO industry it's like a regular office job. You come to a nice location, you work at a desk, you help customers out. Um, so it's really like, it's just office work. But I think what makes it different, my job, or actually any job, is when you come to work and you're working with people that are like your family. Because regardless of whatever happens, even with this pandemic, we know that our first priority is to take care of our teammates, and we all know that. So we trust what the company does, and I think, like, for us, it all starts with our employees. We ensure that we treat our employees right. Our employees will treat our customers right. The customers will treat our clients right, and it'll raise shareholder value. But it all starts with the employees. And that's why I've been with this company for so long, and that's probably why I won't leave until I retire. So yeah, that's it.
Thank you for that, sir. How about Sir Dennis? Can you please tell us what it's like to work in a consultancy? So, what would be your most memorable favorite moment?
Okay. Yeah, working in a consultancy, recruitment partner, or a recruitment company, it's like being dynamic. Because if you are, for example, a recruiter, because our company involves in recruitment and training. So when you're in recruitment, you recruit for people, for your clients. Now, but you only recruit for that company. But for us, you recruit for different companies because you are having a lot of clients in your desk. Okay. So for example, if I because I work as a business development, it's the other side of the business. So I get clients for John Clements and I give it to the recruiter. So if I have, for example, a client for a BPO company, a client for an e-commerce company, a client for a bank, they'll be more dynamic in handling this because they have to really shift from one industry to another to really search for the right talent. So you start from the industry of banking, and then once you find those candidates, you go to the BPO industry, and then the e-commerce. I also handle the hospitality industry, but unfortunately, right now we don't have clients for that since the pandemic started. So I also handle the airline company, but as mentioned by JP, this is also a lost industry because airlines are not moving right now. So that's the thing, you are trained well here. That's the reason why when people move out of our company, they get good jobs afterwards because they can shift from one industry to another. Like if they apply in a BPO company, being a head recruiter or a recruitment manager, then that's good. If they go to a hotel, they could be a recruitment manager for that hotel, like that, because the training here is really good, and that's what I would emphasize. Mostly um, our fresh grads, when they start here, then they leave like 3 to 5 years. They get a good job in certain companies that are really the top 500 companies. So it's a training ground. But if you want to establish your career here, like what JP said, that you want to retire here, it's also good because you meet a lot of people, you meet a lot of clients, and while you go up that corporate ladder, you also would think of those people that you meet, because sooner or later you'll also meet them around, because the industry is so small. You would see them around, and the
Yeah.
only thing is just to be kind to everyone and have that competitive spirit in a friendly way. So that's it. Thank you.
Yeah. How about Miss Bernadette? Can you tell us about your FactSet work experience or FactSet stay?
So I have been, as I mentioned earlier, I have been with Factset for 10 years. And like JP, I see myself retiring with Factset. And I have three reasons why I have been staying, or I'm staying with Factset. One is the working environment. Second is opportunities. And when I say opportunities, I'm not only referring to promotions, but also referring to trainings. And then lastly, of course, benefits. And when I say benefits, it goes beyond the salary. What I really like in FactSet is one of our core values is how we work. So we may have disagreements, especially in my position as an operations manager. I have people who would not agree with my decisions, but when we need to solve very tough problems, we all roll up our sleeves and do the tough work. And we all learn from both our successes and failures, and we strive to do better next time. Um, in terms of the working environment, I guess similar to what the others are saying is that it's like being in with the family. So whether you have problems with your tasks, whether you have personal problems, you always know that you can count on your team. And sometimes they will surprise you because they will be disagreeing with you constantly, but when it comes to solving tough problems, and when you have some personal issues, they will actually be the first one in line to help you out. And in terms of opportunity, I started in FactSet as a team leader in 2010. And when the opportunity opened for the assistant manager for operations, I applied for that. Fortunately, I got that. And recently, when I applied also for the operations manager, initially I did not get that position. So I did the acting role first for 6 months. And when they opened it again, I applied again. And fortunately, this time I got it. So they offer a lot of opportunities. And what makes FactSet really something special for me is when it comes to the benefits, and when I mentioned earlier it goes beyond the compensation, is that the benefits, they also include your family. So I have my mother as my beneficiary, and she is, we are getting, in terms of the medical reimbursement, her medicines are, I also include that. And Factset is reimbursing that for her, or as well as for my medicine. So, these are the things that really make you think of, do I really do I really want to go to another company and start over, or I am happy here? So I'm saying that for the past 10 years I have been happy, and I'm staying, and will retire, do an early retirement or not, but it's gonna be Factset for me. Thank
Thank
you.
you for that, Miss B. How about Miss Angel? Can you please share to our audience um, a rewarding, humbling, surprising experience that you have experienced with the Makati Medical Center?
Yes, I guess one of the uh, one of the unique things about working in a hospital is, we operate 24/7. So if, for example, the government declares, a disaster or maybe a typhoon wherein people, declares maybe signal number three, people cannot report for work or something. In our case, we encourage our employees, to work because again, the healthcare workers, they have patients to take care of. And for the support team like HR, we need to support our healthcare workers in terms of, providing them food, making sure that they have, proper accommodations, that they have transportation going to the hospital and going home. So that is one unique thing about, the hospital. And again, well, another example is during the pandemic when all companies, most of the industries have been, put on hold. um, you know, we still encourage our employees to work and to serve, the people who are sick. So that is, unique item that we have in our, company or maybe in the healthcare industry. And then one item that I am very proud of is the hospital is a good training ground, not just for nurses, but for other healthcare workers, for physicians, for our doctors. So if they, go maybe to Singapore or to the US, maybe, most of the employers outside of the Philippines, they just see that this is an employee of Makati Med, then, process is short and then easily they accept our employees because of the good experience and the good training ground that we have or that we've given to our employees. No? So again, the training, the experience, we equip our employees with all of these to make them, good and skilled employees in their, in the companies that they will work for in the future.
Okay, so thank you for that, Miss Angel. We have an incoming question coming from, this is actually from UMAC. So, they are asking, are are the companies here, are the companies present in the webinar today willing to accept interns on a work from home or virtual arrangement? Because CHED right now, they don't allow face to face or physical OJT. So is this a work, is there a work set up for OJTs or interns for Inspiro, John Clements, Makati Medical Center, Factset? Do you allow po this kind of arrangement for OJTs or interns? Let's start with Miss D.
Ms. Shari, I know that we do have interns, but they have been hired before the pandemic. So I really cannot answer that directly, except that for new hires, although we have a lot of new hires recently and they are all working from home. But really, it's a question for the interns. I believe I have to refer you to HR regarding that. So that
All
could be
right,
an
no
assignment for me
problem.
and let you know.
No problem, Miss D. How about Sir Dennis po?
Uh, Unfortunately, we don't have. But before, during the pre-pandemic, we have students who were taking their OJT with us. But I don't see any reason why there would be a work from home from our industry. Because I've heard from
Yes po.
our client chamber chambers like European chambers, American chamber. I think they have for that, no, because what they have there are research, doing articles, and that are the things that I've heard that would be good for OJT students while working from home. So that's it. Thank you.
How about Sir JP? Do you allow this
So I do know that
arrangement?
we had okay. I do know that we've had OJTs prior to the pandemic. To be very transparent, I haven't seen any OJTs requests come across my desk ever since the pandemic started, and that may be because of the current situation. I haven't seen any interns request for internship. Um, but it is definitely something that we can look into if there is availability. So if there's, like Dennis said, any research tasks, any tasks that can be handled from home, then we can definitely look at that. So I'll do some research. But as of right now, I haven't seen any requests.
All right, thank you, Sir JP. How about for Makati Med, ma'am? Is this an option a work from home arrangement?
Well, again, yes. Just like JP, we used to have OJTs, but at this point we've lied to. So we're not you know, looking for interns as of this time.
Alright. So thank you for being transparent. I think my last question would be your final message to our audience. So these are residents, these are students from Makati and Taguig. So what would be your final message to them before we close the session po? So let's start with Miss Angel, Makati Med po.
Okay, for the our audience, especially from Makati and Taguig, please, consider Makati Medical Center. Currently, we are looking for nurses, registered nurses, and even graduates of BS Nursing, and undergraduates or underboards medical technology. So while other companies have stopped hiring, so for Makati Med, these are the three positions that we have, active vacancies. So please, come and visit us, or maybe check our website for other details of these positions. So thank you.
Alright. Miss B.
Yeah, so for those who will be graduating, for the newly grads, be open. I know that we all went through the same thing when we were fresh graduates, and at this time we're all idealist or idealistic. So just make sure that you are open. And one of the panelists mentioned earlier that your first job, it's also very important because this is the time when you start developing your skills. So be open. But bring that being an idealist into your job, because it's going to be a breath of fresh air from somebody who has been in the workforce for more than 20 years. And when I have some new hires and new grads, it's a breath of fresh air because it reminds me of all those idealistic things that I had when I was in that position. Now, one of the core values of Factset is, I'm sorry, one of the long-term goals of Factset is be the career destination for the best and the brightest. So if you would like to join Factset, you may visit our site, or you may also apply through resume link at jobs180.com that's www.jobs180.com/Factset careers. Thank you for having Factset today.
Thank you, Miss B. Sir JP, your final message to our audience.
Okay. Well, first off, so thanks for having all of us on the panel. I'm sure that if any graduates were to join any of these companies, they would be very happy. Based on what I've heard, everybody's very professional. And I just want to say something that, you guys are graduates during 2020. It might seem scary because of the pandemic, but it looks like we're all moving forward and we're all going to get through this together. 2021 will have its other challenges, but for this, we're all going to get through this together. But together, that's the whole point. That's number one. Number two, we're very blessed actually right now that we are hiring for Inspiro. We are hiring over 8,000 employees from now until December. For customer service agents, we have pioneer accounts in our Makati site, which is Insular, where I'm at now. So if you'd like to apply for the fresh grads, you can go to the Inspiro at Jobs 180, or you can go to our Inspiro Philippines Facebook page. And our hiring is all done virtually. So you can do everything from the comfort of your home. All right, that's it. God bless.
Thank you for that, Sir JP. Sir Dennis, your final words to our audience, please.
Yes, yeah, for the graduates, there is opportunity. Don't feel or read the papers that there is a lot of the economy is going down. It is, but there are still opportunities outside. So you can also apply with us because we have clients that are open, especially like the BPO, like what JP mentioned. If they are hiring 8,000, that's good news for all of you, because we also have clients that are hiring like a big number also, but not 1,000, like hundreds like that, but different clients. So once you apply with John Clements, it's like applying to numerous companies. For example, if our client is, let's say, Inspiro, no, then we endorse you to that company, and then you failed in that company, there are other opportunities that we can also endorse you, like for example in another BPO company. So it's an endless opportunity. That's the reason why when you apply in a headhunter, then the opportunities does not stop there, because our objective is for you to get the job. It's not like once you fail in one company, then that's it. We'll help you find another company for you until you get that job. And as the saying goes, we're all in this together. This is just temporary. Everything's just temporary right now. We'll survive this one. And as a graduate of 2020, this is a memorable one because this is a more challenging state that the world has. They say like the recent NBA finals between the Lakers and the Heat, the Miami Heat. They said that the challenge inside the bubble is really different from the crowd because they're isolated, things like that. We encounter a lot of challenges here, and if you're a graduate of 2020, you should be proud of it because you have gone to face, then online, and then graduating. Those are tough moments, but still you have survived, and jobs are just waiting for you. So that's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Sir Dennis. Thank you po for inspiring us here today. So, salamat po for your kind words. I'm sure that our audience learned a lot from the panel, and we hope to see more of you guys in the next few sessions po. Okay? So, we are done with our three topics. So, thank you po to everyone who's here today, who joined us, who tuned in. So, salamat po. So, to officially close this session, may we invite Mr. Alex Ramos of the University of Makati for our closing remarks. Yeah. Hi, Dr. Ramos. Good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon.
Sir,
First off,
thank you for
yeah,
gracing us today. Sir, your final words na lang po to officially close this session for all of our audience today po, this afternoon.
okay. First off, congratulations to Jobs 180 and all the participants in this forum and also our invited guests. No, uh, tama po yung binanggit. No, it's really a new environment that we are in right now, and actually, in a study that I was part of a couple of years ago, and which is actually true until now, we found out that a bigger number of those who are unemployed are actually those who spent more time in school. Fascinating, no? Baka po nagtataka kayo, paano nangyari yun? Mas maraming mga unemployed na nakapag-aral. No? And partly the reason is because those who actually spent more time in school, namimili sila ng trabaho. They get to be choosy in the kind of work or the profession that they would want to go into. And it's not as if there are no jobs available. There are actually jobs available. And we always hear the word that there is this job mismatch. The skill sets that the employers are actually looking for are not possessed by our graduates. And if we actually look and try to examine more closely, there's actually nothing unique about these skill sets. No? Whatever company you would like to join or whatever profession you would want to be involved in, three things will always stand out that employers are actually going to look for: your communication skills, no, ability to speak and write both in English, or if you have another foreign language as a mastery, that would of course be an advantage. Okay, and also the right attitude and values towards work, and the ability to manipulate technology. And like what I mentioned, there's really nothing unique about these three skill sets. But what will set you apart, and this is the challenge that I'm posing to all of the students actually who are listening in, our graduating students, is to never stop learning. Use these opportunities for you to pick up something, just like this seminar that was of course, facilitated by Jobs 180. Pick up from the lessons shared by our facilitators and our guests. Learn a new skill. I know TESDA was also involved here. If you can put in your resume that you have a national certification, or if you have an additional skill, that will always give you an advantage towards other applicants. But truly, this year, for the graduating class of 2020, you are actually unique, because not everyone can actually say that they had the same challenges. They have to face the same kind of learning environment that you are facing right now. So, we wish you all the luck, and we hope, that in the near future we can, call each other colleagues and call each other friends, and you can actually see any one of the facilitators here and tell them, sir, ma'am, I got to know you when I attended the webinar at Jobs 180, and now we're working together. And this is our dream, no? Lahat naman po ng mga employers are actually wishing and hoping that they get the best talent available. So with that, good luck to all our graduating students. Congratulations again to Jobs 180. And thank you again to all our guests and facilitators in this webinar series. Magandang hapon po, mabuhay po tayong lahat.
Thank you po, Dr. Ramos. Mabuhay din po kayo. Thank you po for gracing us this afternoon. So, thank you, sir. All right. So, maraming salamat po for being with us here today. Salamat po for you guys for tuning in. And please watch out for the next set of webinars that we will be hosting for RTU. We also have one for Bulacan province. We also have one for Pampanga schools. So please check our Facebook page for the topics that will be discussed in those sessions, and you're welcome to join in. Okay? So see you guys and have a great afternoon. Stay safe. Bye, guys.